So
Gosh, dog. Okay, what's going on, people? YouTube family, we literally just got done watching episode 85, Traitor, season 4, part 2 of Attack on Titan. This is going to be our unfiltered, raw spoiler discussion. I have here Ant and Ty. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, what's going on, man?
what's good? What's
Um,
good?
I'm kind of a little emotionally compromised after that. And I think
Emotional damage.
no, that's it. That's straight up it, bro. Like I'm sitting there just holding on to my child Spider-Man right now.
Right.
Um, I think the thing was that like last episode, I was telling you guys, I was like, I was spent. I was like, man, why they keep on going through the same motions of filler? And this episode reminded me why I need moments of those fillers because they kicked it into high gear in this episode.
When they go, they aim to knock teeth out.
And it's like I
Wow.
guess I forgot, you know what I'm saying? Not just on the action, but the emotional consequences of actions.
Mm-hmm.
So the opening of this, you know what I'm saying, like we kind of were wondering like what are they looking up at the sky? It turns out that your boy Aaron has already pushed them into the water and they're traveling across in the water. It's the steam coming off of the water. So at this point, their thought was, all right, let's try to get to the plane, but they know that it's being surrounded by Enoch's man and the Jaegerists. What I didn't know is how this would all going to turn out. How do y'all feel about this episode, man? I'm just going to go straight into it. How do y'all feel?
You want it first, Kenny, or you want me to take it?
Man, look,
I'm sorry, y'all. It's
I'm a
late.
yeah, it is. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet, bro. This joint, my good. Like, first off, the shock of this daggone episode that the joint hit us with was crazy. Just plain shock. And I think they get us like that every time somebody gets shot at, whether they bite it or don't bite it, because it just comes out of nowhere. It's never you never see it coming. It's just a pure shock out of nowhere, and you're just like, whoa, who just got hit? You almost check yourself, like, did I get hit?
Right.
But there's that, and then there's that. Just on a pure emotional level, like I have not heard a wail, a proper WAIL wail after somebody died in a long time like that.
Facts.
Like that joint was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is sometimes you don't really want to go there as a dude, but like yo, this was truly emotional. They hit you.
Yeah. I was done. What about you, Ty?
So, if there's just three things in here, really, it's to kind of sum it up. It's unavoidable emotional damage. There was absolutely
They were damned if they did, and they were damned if they did.
right. There was no way when they were talking. Like even Annie called them out. Like there was no way you were going to try to pull this off and not think somebody was going to die, because they had already killed. The Jaegers had already killed. Enoch and the Jaegers already killed 4 people already.
Yep.
But I think the fact that it had gotten to a point where the Marley in general apologized
Right.
to them and asked them to help save his country, his people. And the fact that it came to that point, like it was like in that moment, he had the realization of everything that was wrong with this vicious cycle. And the fact that he apologized, knowing that he probably played a role in the response, he was probably responsible in playing a role of getting Reiner and Annie and Bertolt and all of them out there as Titans to take down the Eldian people. Like that to me was crazy, but there was absolutely no way they were not going to come out of this unscathed. I didn't expect it to be that level, but there's no way they came out of it unscathed. Like I had like it's been so long, like Chitty said, I was shocked when they shot up Armin. And I had to remember, oh, he's a Titan. He's gonna be okay. But it took a minute to get there.
Right.
But yeah, but it all boils down to unavoidable emotional damage. On top of which, we haven't seen Annie since season 1. We haven't seen the female Titan since season 1. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who plumb forgot how vicious she was until she got into it.
Like until she kicked them 3 dudes. At
once. For me, it wasn't even the kick. It was the fact that dude tried to get away, and the first person she went after tried to get away, and she was so fast she caught and crushed that dude in one
fluid motion.
Motion, like she hadn't been off the field for 3 seasons. Right. Like this chick been off the field for 3 seasons, and she got back in.
No rest.
Like it. Right, she got back in like it was Michael Jordan, and like he hadn't been gone. Like she just went and like that, and it was like, wow. There's no absolute way you avoid the emotional damage we just had.
Yeah, it's this is one of those episodes that we could really talk really short and just sweet and just like, oh, it was great. And then you can also take time to kind of unpack it, because even just going off on Annie, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first time that we've seen Annie work with other Titans. Normally, Annie's just kind of doing her own thing
by herself.
Right? Yeah. But the fact that her and Bertolt are up there, and she already knows, yeah, Armin did get shot in the face. And the biggest thing is that, you know, Armin went in the back of his head. He remembered back to, you know, before, and old boy said, like, look, I couldn't do it. Like, I needed somebody to do it ahead of time. Somebody else had to get their hands dirty before me. It's like he didn't want to hurt anybody. He couldn't, even though he was like willing to die for it, he just really couldn't. But she knows that Armin's to the side as well, so she actually has help. And it's like, it's crazy, like the situation right now. Like, I don't perceive the Jaegerists stopping these Titans. But I also didn't perceive how it's gonna go down. And we got to talk about the emotional turmoil that, I mean, basically all of our main crew had to really understand and accept. Like, they all made a conscientious choice, like, yeah, we're willing to get our hands dirty to try to stop this. But what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? And I think that Connie and Armin, that was firsthand nature. And it's like, it's not like we knew these other 2 people they had to kill, but it's the fact of, we know them. We know Connie. We know Armin. And we know what they've done, the worst of what they've done, and the best of what they've done. And this episode, Connie, man, he had to make a real choice. And just how it was played out and how it was done, how viciously it was done, it was emotional, bro. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. And I think that it's just good storytelling. Like, the way they've built these characters up in such a way that we know them. And when they start to have to make these pivots like this, like it kind of breaks your heart, man. I guess that's the best way I can kind of put it. But I don't know. Y'all can elaborate y'all's thoughts on it.
I'd like to actually run down the list, man. We got the Marleyan general apologizing. We got Annie really on a human and a Titan level, basically having to come to Jesus with these guys for real, like calling people out on their stuff. Like, what plan do you have, Armin, to get out of this where nobody gets killed? Like the strategy you had to take me down. What up? Armin, even though Armin didn't do it, Armin coming to terms with knowing he's going to have to get his hands dirty now,
Right.
and is like, no, I'm not going to stand by with my hands clean. Like
Right.
Connie finally getting out of this whole crazy trip about his mother. And I think honestly, had he not had to go through that ordeal of trying to take Falco to try to feed him to his mother for Armin to stop him, like I think all that had to happen for him to come to terms with like, look, that is what that is. You got to move on. And he moved on. But for him to be the one to pull the trigger on his friends, man,
it was rough.
then
bro.
I mean, oh my God, Mikasa beasting out. Like Mikasa beasting out. Mikasa's family member, you heard 3 or 4 shots go off, and she got to that dude and had his arm in a vice before Mikasa showed up. Kiyomi. You seen Mikasa run down the stairs, hop on the wall, and take out 3 cats before they got the shots off. Like, and this is close quarters combat. This ain't her using, their devices like they going up against a Titan. This chick is beasting out in close quarters combat, trying to beat out point blank bullets, and she's doing it with no problem.
Honestly, it felt like she used both, dog. Like she actually did use some of the ODM gear indoors.
Yeah.
Young, that's it wasn't crazy.
Yeah, but the fact that she has that much control to do that, the fact that she can outfly bullets and take people out, like this chick literally just broke down the rule of not taking a knife to a gunfight. She brought the knives to the gunfight and won. Like that's crazy.
It said, I dare your bullets to be faster than me.
Right. Like then on top of that, Enoch, just seeing more Enoch at this crazed cultist right-hand man role that Aaron didn't put him in as a Jaegerist, to see this dude who was basically a punk through the series to now being this psychopath, this narcissistic psychopath. And finally for this dude to like without hesitation tell his comrades to kill Aaron and kill Connie and Armin and Mikasa and the rest, like with no hesitation, like no thought for them, unlike the 2 guys that were guarding the winged boat. And finally, for like you said, Sam, for Annie and Reiner to finally come back, to bring back the female Titan, and now she has a teammate in the armor Titan. And if you thought things weren't bad before when you were fighting Titans, they're now teamed up, and these guys that have the full equipment to handle Titans are probably slacking because they've been doing this Jaegerist thing. They're just taking them out left and right. Like that's the full list of what we got in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I don't know a lot of shows that can give you all that in 30 minutes and not only make it action-packed, critical type drama and intrigue, and the unavoidable emotional damage that we just got. Like my whole camera went up. Like that's crazy how they culminate that into 30. Like who sits there and says we're gonna pack this thing into 30? I don't even know how they did it. I would have been like, bro, you ain't gonna get this past an hour before an hour. They got it in 30 minutes. That's crazy. That list is nuts.
Yeah, and the funny thing about even the commander and his whole conversation, because he was jaying up your girl Yelena, like he broke. He's like, I'm gonna have your elbow bend in a different way. and like he saw like some matter or stuff going on, and we were sitting there seeing like Gabby. And I think in that moment I realized not only is he willing to sacrifice his pride to preserve, the people over there in his mainland, but I think at the end of it, like the heart and soul is the future for him. Like he realizes that Gabby is insane. And Falco is also a Titan now and is, on a record on a timestamp, but they are the embodiment of the future. And he's trying to figure out a way of preserving that soul left of humanity. And I think that's the reason why he was like, I'm going to just relent. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it takes. And I think that's so crazy that they fit that in to justify why they're moving forward. It's not just, okay, yeah, we need to get to the ship. We're going to make this sacrifice. Oh, well, we have this belief and understanding, so we're going to do this. Like, no, they're tackling it from 3 different locations. The fact is that the Malians are needing to do this to get back to the homeland. The main characters, they're going up against the people they've loved for years and having to attack them. But then at the end of the core of it, they're still with the understanding that we got to preserve our future. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy that they did all that in one episode, bro. And still, again, man, like, I don't know about that scene when Connie had the gun down, homeboy that's right in front of Armin. I got that. But then he had to take the gun and pop off a couple more shots right in front of the man that's right in front of him.
In front of his boy, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just heartbreaking, bro. I don't even know how to really describe it. And it's like, I don't know these 2 dudes for 2 nickels, but I know Armin and I know Connie. And I know they would never willingly have wanted to do that, but they'd had to. And it's weird because even when Pixis died, even when they had to go and kill Pixis, it's kind of like, you know what, he's putting them out of his misery. But they had to make a conscious choice to kill these men because they just had differences of belief. And it's crazy, bro.
Well, look at it this way. The Scout regiment has always specialized in killing what? Titans. Even before they realized that Titans were just human beings in a Titan form, they were good at it. They were literally training. Like you're in the Scout regiment. You're not training to kill other people. You're trying to preserve your own people.
Right.
So even after they find out that the Titans are basically their own people in this different form, they still had to do it. But you could even see with Connie. Connie looked at it much differently when he realized it was his mother laid out on top of that house.
True.
As a Titan. These guys have never had to kill other people.
Right.
They've had to only kill Titans. So this is probably one of the first times they've ever had to face the inconvenient truth of you're going to have to kill someone if you're trying to save the world. I think it just compounds more on that when the first people you actually have to kill are your own. Because remember, Connie's a prime example. Connie wasn't really thinking twice about killing Falco as far as he's concerned, even though technically Falco is his people. It's his people from a whole other way across the sea who were being trained and conditioned to come kill them.
Right.
As far as he's concerned, Falco was a Titan in a human form, that benefited him saving his mother.
Right.
That was the only purpose he probably kept Falco alive. But this is probably the first time Connie has had to do a real killing as a soldier.
Yeah.
And to top it off, it's his own people that he's known since they were cadets. That's a real emotional and psychological trauma that he just went through. Mm-hmm. And I promise you, if it wasn't for the fact that they were trying to save the world from Eren, he would be handling that a lot differently. I think even after all this is done, Connie is going to go through some serious PTSD and emotional trauma.
Dude, and it's crazy because if you think about where Connie began, right? Like this season kind of started with Connie. I'm trying to find it. There's a good image that I saw just a second ago. I don't know if I can find it. Man, I can't find it. But yeah, here it is. Here it is right here. Let me pull it up. Like this is the first time we really saw Connie like have an emotional moment that messed him up. You know, it started with this. It started with Sasha in the beginning of season 4. And now it's transitioned to he has to look at what he's become. You know what I mean? Like he reconciled within himself, like, all right, I'm making this conscious decision to not kill Falco, but he still had to just embrace the reality of what's happening. Like all these things are transforming these people on a psychological level. And I don't know if any of them are going to recover from it. To be truthfully honest, I don't know if any of these people are going to survive. To be real, like I don't like this show is not a forgiving show. As much as I love these characters, I don't know who is going to make it, who ain't. I got a feeling, man, in the next few episodes, we're going to have another Sasha situation. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do feel like it's coming.
That's
episode
guaranteed.
reminded
That's guaranteed.
Oh yeah, because I feel like the Armin scene was like to set us up and realize that anybody can still catch it. Plot armor be damned.
Oh yeah, no one's above reproach. No, anybody can get it at this point. But I find it so I feel so bad for Connie because it's like who died and made and chose that he should be the one to bear witness or commit these acts when this is not what he wants to do. He had to watch Sasha die. Then he had to watch as he shot 2 of his comrades. Who died and decided that of all these people, he's the one that had to deal with this emotional damage?
Bruh, that's just so much, man. I don't know, man. It messed me up. I'm not gonna lie. I got done with the episode.
Yeah.
I went like this, and I was like.
And look, let me sprinkle some extra tension that was happening, even though it didn't actually go down. When Connie was wrestling with old boy for the gun, did you notice it looked like the barrel was pointed towards Armin and the other dude? So I'm sitting there the whole time like, please don't let this thing go off while they're wrestling.
Right.
Like, because there's one thing to, go through the emotional thing you got to go through and raise a gun and actually shoot. It's another thing when it's an accident.
Yeah.
Bruh. Yeah, that jump was crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, I mean, this was a 10 for me. I love this episode. It was not the episode that I expected. I knew something was off when they were looking into the sky. I was like, what's going on? It just threw me off from the very beginning. But it hit all the things that I wanted. It wasn't filler. It was emotional. It was action. It was raw ALT, man. And I don't know. That's my thoughts. Where y'all at with it?
Go ahead, Chase.
Okay. Man, personally, yeah, this is definitely 10. It makes the consecutive filler episodes we've gotten over and over and over kind of like lead to something. And the crazy part is we know that there's still more, but this was a killer episode, and it was a bit of a payoff for the last couple of episodes of filler. So I'm gonna call it a 10.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to not give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 10. It is a 10 out of 10. However, I don't think we got the payoff that we want. We got payoff.
Right. No, I agree.
Very good payoff.
I agree.
I don't think we got the payoff we wanted. We got a reminder. No, that's back. That's back. Traitor, emotional damage. We got the payoff. We got the payoff they thought we were supposed to have. We didn't get the payoff we wanted. We got a reminder. We got a little sneak peek, payoff, and we got a reminder. We got the sneak peek payoff in terms of the action. Annie and Reiner, female and armor titan. Mikasa going off, Kiyomi going off, or Hiomi, her relative. Armin's self-control, because let's be real, I think that's the first time we've seen Armin take a serious L
Yeah,
and
he did.
not just try to turn into the colossal titan. Like, he has, incredible self-control. I think that has to do with his mind as a strategist, because I'm sure he knew that once he got over the shock of being shot, he knew he was going to be okay because he's a titan. He's a colossal titan. So, but we also got a reminder of what Attack on Titan really is. It is an emotionally damaging story that puts people in. I know we joke about the emotional damage all the time, but the truth of the matter is these people have gone through hell for over a century, and now they are dealing with being put in compromising positions against each other, because I think the truth of the matter is they all want peace. They
Yeah,
all want to be left alone. They all just want to live. But the ways to which they all believe that that will happen are different. And now those opposing opinions have come to a head,
yeah,
and there have been casualties on both sides.
yeah,
That's what Attack on Titan has done. Attack on Titan has always provided some scenario to have a morally questionable path, that brings confrontation to people, even though they want the same thing. They all want the Titans gone. They all want the world to leave them alone. They all want Paradise to be a paradise. The
yeah,
problem is you know, the one person that holds all the cards and has all the power is saying the only way that happens is if we are the 0.01% of the world, 99.99%, everybody, they gotta go. That's the only way we get it done. You
yeah.
know.
It's
So
just
it's a 10
sad
out of 10.
because I mean I
Man.
think you make a really good point though, Ty. Because it's like the person that's got the legit loaded gun, so to speak, and all the ammunition is one of the most emotionally compromised and emotionally damaged characters. Like he's gone through everything, every single thing. It goes back to like what was it season 2 when like he was working with Levi's crew, and he had to make a decision whether or not to turn into a Titan or trust them. Levi's like, I don't know, make up your mind, and he had to watch them systematically get decimated, and he took ownership of that. He had to watch, you know what I'm saying, his childhood like sheriff, technically, a guy that oversee him and protected Mikasa. He had to watch him die. He couldn't even change to save him. And the very Titan that killed his mom, he couldn't do nothing about it. Like it's all these different things are like a terrible vicious cycle, bro.
I think a lot of I think for me, I agree with you, but I wanted to jump in here because I think while we understand that, I think I think his realization, I think when he touched, it could either be two moments. It could either be when he punched the Titan that killed his mother, or when he kissed Astoria's hand and had the ability to go back and forth really through time. When he started to realize all the different connections and realized he is just a byproduct of a jacked up environment, and realized, how it all came to be, how stupid all of it is, and the fact that he, above all people, suffered because of it. You know, I think he just, I think all that emotion just got all that raw, dark energy that he has had the sole focus on just killing all the Titans has now been refined and refocused.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think he's at that place of, he's still the emotional kid, but now it's one of those things where it's like, you know, where you take an apprentice who wants to be a blacksmith and you get him too refined. refine his art. You know, he now just doesn't make metal, metal spikes. He's making elegant swords.
Yes.
What happens when you take an overly emotionally damaged child who has seen the death of his mother, who is seen and didn't even remember till a certain point, not only the loss of his father, but the fact that he ate his father, that he killed his father, to the point now that we have seen him now take that same anger and utilize it in the form of strategy. Because remember, he has been under, whether we have noticed it or not, he has been under Armin's tutelage. He's seen Armin strategize.
Right.
And he has now taken that and refined that emotional damage he has to make a weapon. And a weapon that's literally going to pierce through the entire world. He is still the emotional kid, but he is now the refined emotional strategist man. And that's a dangerous place to be, because it's almost like he's almost like a Bond villain now, or a Batman villain. You know, he's one of those people that talk about world domination and taking over the world. It's almost like a Pinky in the Brain thing, except except he's on that Thanos level. Like, this dude could actually do it. You know, it's rough. It's absolutely rough. It's rough.
Yeah. So we could talk longer, but we're gonna close up shop now. If they don't delay the next episode, we'll be back. I'm just wondering though. I guess the last question I was going to ask you guys: do you think that they're going to end this season in the next few episodes? Like, I feel like either they got like a part 3, or I don't know. It just seems like there's still a lot of story that still is there. I mean, what do y'all think?
You got it, Chitty.
Yeah, like. Yeah, no, I don't think. I maintain, like we said last week, that they're gonna run out probably the content of the manga in the actual episodes, and then with whatever's left, they're probably gonna put out a feature-length 2-hour movie to catch us up on what happens after that. But yeah, things are gonna happen really fast, and they're gonna make us want to watch the movie. Clearly.
Yeah.
Look, I don't even know if the movie is official or not yet, and I want to watch the movie. Like, if they do it, if they give it to us in just episodes, as long as it culminates in a way that reflects, you know, I don't want to say the manga, but at least close to the manga, as the manga is the original information. But if it culminates in a way that is satisfying and reflects that manga, whether it be by episodes or episodes in a 2-hour movie, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Just let it happen as it happens. Just don't mess it up. Don't pull a Game of Thrones on us, because y'all at the
D&D it.
Right, y'all at the end of the road, and it's good. So don't Game of Thrones it up.
Yeah, I think just the concept of thinking about an Attack on Titan movie to see in theaters. I'm not gonna lie, even if they had said that like around season 2, I'd been hyped. But now they're gonna end it on a movie. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah, that's all you had to say.
So we'll be back. We'll see. If y'all get any other information, let us know. And if we get anything, you already know. Peace out.
Filing out the top of I can see the skyline. 50 mile radius on my timeline.